Jenny Carlson here with Anthony Slater. We're at the peak where the Thunder has defeated the Spurs 94-88. Our post-game Thunder report is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford. Anthony, we probably need to start with the good stuff we saw. There was some not so good stuff out of the superstars. We'll talk about that in a second. But man, the bench led by Reggie Jackson, spectacular tonight. Where did that performance come from?
Out of nowhere a little bit, especially against the Spurs, who have one of the best second units in the NBA. Reggie Jackson, like you mentioned, was really the star. 23 points. He was 6 of 6 for 14 points in the fourth quarter. He scored 8 more points than any Spurs player. You don't really expect that in a game like this, but, I mean, it's an encouraging performance. And like Kevin Durant said post-game, I mean, it was the reason why they won the game was the bench. Jackson, Lamb scored, I think, 12 or 14 points. Derek Fisher made some Derek Fisher plays, and I mean, they were pretty much the reason they won.
Jeremy Lamb making some big shots, no hesitation, some really good stuff out of him as well, as you mentioned. But you mentioned Kevin Durant, and he and Russell Westbrook combined for a not-so-good night, a pretty average night by their standards, primarily because Westbrook's still struggling to shoot the ball. But these guys, it was really not a good night for them. Is that Spurs or is that them?
I think a lot of it was, especially with Westbrook. Westbrook's the guy we should really talk about. 2 of 16 from the field. That's about as inefficient as you can get. I just think he's missing easy jumpers that, you know, a lot of times he usually hits. He has these nights sometimes, but I think a little bit of it is rust. You know, he's still kind of getting back. He sat out last game, so obviously they're a little worried about some stuff. He'll get going. Moving forward, it is kind of a little bit of a worry, but you've seen it. It's in spurts of his career, he'll be inefficient. He'll have 2 of 16 nights, and tonight was one of them.
He was great with the assists, though. I think 8 assists for him tonight, so definitely finding some guys, Reggie Jackson among them. He knew where to find the hot hand. Let's talk defense for just a second, Anthony. The Thunder came in knowing that they were going to have to play really good defense for 4 quarters against the Spurs. There's no other way to survive. Held them to 39.1%, one of their worst shooting nights of the year. This has to be an encouraging defensive performance for the Thunder.
Yeah, we're talking about a team that coming in, the Spurs had won 11 straight. They're averaging 100 points, just blowing teams out by about 12 points a game. And like you said, you hold them to 39% shooting, 88 points. I mean, it probably is their best defensive effort of the season, just considering the circumstances and considering the stage.
A lot of good stuff coming out of the Thunder locker room. Here's what they had to say after the game.
Easy to say when we won the game, but it's not about offense. With us, we will score enough points throughout the game, whether it's off of our defense or we have better execution the last so many years. It's not easy for us to win when our 2 best players don't shoot the ball well, but that's why we have a good team. Everybody has to step up. Another guy, Jeremy Lamb stepped up in that first half. I thought he was really good, important. It kept us within reach. Because that could have easily been, a 12 to 15 point favor in their part in the first half if we didn't defend.
Yeah, my teammates found me when I was open, so I was able to knock down a couple shots. Some games you don't miss everything, some games you don't make everything. So luckily this was one of the nights I was able to knock down some shots.
Yeah, I think our defense is really good. I mean, this team, if not leading the league, top 3 in field goal percentage. So I think they shot 38%, 39% for the game. I think that's just a combination of us using our length, making second and third efforts, and just playing hard.
This extended homestand concludes this week with a couple more games. Look ahead for us, Anthony.
You got the Warriors on Friday, and then the Wolves on Sunday. And suddenly the Thunder has a chance to sweep a 6-game homestand that kind of looked pretty daunting coming in. But you already beat the Clippers, you already beat the Spurs. 2 tough games, but the Warriors are struggling a little bit. I believe they got beat in Dallas tonight. Steph Curry's kind of has some lingering issues, and then the Wolves you've lost to this year, but they're kind of in a tailspin right now too. So a really realistic chance to go 6-0 on a tough homestand.
With those Warriors coming in Friday, the Thunder needs to go light on the turkey and dressing for Thanksgiving. But you can eat all you want. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We're brought to you again by Bob Moore Ford. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.